database connectivity in Python using SQLITE3. Why are we SQLITE3 ఎందుకు యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం అంటే without server, without server, we can store the data in the database by using Python. And here the interesting thing is SQLITE3 is a module built in by the Python developers. Okay, within the Python developers. Okay, so what is database? And what is database? To store the data from any user, like application forms. So we use database. So by this way, we can understand that what is the importance of database. The main use is if, for suppose, suddenly data due to system crash, data may lost. At that time, if we use it to store the data in any database, then it is very useful to bring it back again. What I'm telling is that basically the database is to store the data from any user, like application forms. Application forms, the filling, the user may fill the required details in the application form, and that data should be stored. So then we should database. And its main use when ఇప్పుడు ఎప్పుడైనా మన సిస్టమ్ కానీ క్రాష్ అయితే దాంట్లో ఉండే మల్టిపుల్ యూజర్స్ అప్లికేషన్ ఫార్మ్స్ డేటా రిట్రైవ్ చేసుకోవాలంటే ఒక దాంట్లో మనం స్టోర్ చేసుకోవాలి. సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ డేటాబేస్ ఇన్ సింపుల్. సో ఇన్ పైథాన్ we use SQLITE3, which is an built-in module. Module means collection of classes and variables and extra functionalities. Okay, in Python. So let us discuss about SQLITE3. Okay, what is SQLITE3? Basically, it is a module, and it can be imported in Python, and so there is no need of server. So why I am telling is no need of server, because it is a building module, and without server means cost decreases. Mainly the server cost decreases. So it is a major benefit by using this SQLITE3 module. So without a net, we will go for how to connect to database. How to connect database in Python. There are some steps. These are the very most important. You may get in semester exams for highly weightage. Keep 5 marks question like this. This one. So first step is import. Import SQLite 3. Okay. You have to write SQLite 3. And then after connect. Like take a variable CONN, that is connect. CONN is equal to. Now we should create a database with the file with extension .db, that is the SQLite 3 dot connect. Connect is the predefined method. SQLite, the end is single quotes or double quotes with the string format. We should create a database file name, that is with extension of .db, that is .database. Or you can give any file name to as you can give. Now we should create this is used to connect to the particular database by using SQLite 3 module. We have imported it also here. And coming to next, we should create cursor. Cursor we will represent this here. The main use of cursor is to to retrieve the data. Okay. The main use of cursor is to retrieve the data from the database which you have created with the schedule text 2.7.db. So CUR will take a variable and CONN dot cursor. Okay. This is the syntax for creating the cursor. Next, we should create a table. We'll create a table. How to create the table is cursor dot execute. Execute means these are the predefined function. Execute means to run the code or to syntax for to write the data into the table or to get the table. First, we should check that whether the table is present or not. In that, in our childhood text 2000.db, whether the particular table is there or not, we should check. How to check it? Create table if not exists. If that particular table is not exists, clear the table. Okay, that is, we'll take it as table. In that, we should give the column names, ID, integer. Before this, we will discuss about the data types. Data types in this, the first one is integer. We know that for it is used to take the for the numbers. The second one is text. Use it to take strings or combination of strings and numbers in special characters also. The third one is RBAL, used for taking floating points. Okay, like 3.145 value and 3.01 and with negative value also 6.32, like that, etc. This integers means normal one, minus one plus one zero, like that. This is string. Table like that. Table 247 like that. Combination of numbers and there to etc. We can use like this. Here are the basic data types in the database in Python, and we'll check. We will continue the creation of the table. Cursor dot execute create table if not exists. That is, if the table name is Chaitu, ID integer. We have taken. Let us suppose we take roll number. Roll number as integer, and the roll number is unique. We all know that. The roll number మనకి ఎవరికి సేమ్ ఉండదు కాబట్టి so we will write primary key. Primary key means this do not accept null values and duplicate values. Okay. Okay, and name means text, and age also will take. That is 20 is the okay. This is the creation of the table. We are successfully get to the table. And next, we should save this all the data within the our database. So we will write a statement that con dot commit. Commit means further modifications or further changes cannot be done to this to table. Okay, further modifications cannot done. That is the use of commit. And we should mention in the table while writing the code. And next, now we should uh, pass the value for that particular table. So we will pass the table values to that particular table. Now, by using here we have taken current, so we should write current only as we have created this cursor. So again, current dot execute of within this. Again, we should take insert directly insert. We should write insert into our table name is table. Okay, what are the columns? Roll number, comma text, comma is. Okay, and then columns we should not mention. Write this syntax directly. Question mark. This is the syntax for n values of values means we should give the values. Roll number means so it takes 80 because it is an integer, and name means is an SI, and age means 20 will take. So like this way we can pass the values into the table, and now we should retrieve the data. Okay. For retrieving the data, we should write this statement that is cursor, that is cursor dot execute is the predefined function, execute, select star from what table name table name is Chaitu. Okay, this is the statement we should write within the singular double quotes. Everything we should write text on it. So this is used, the star is used to retrieve all the column data. Okay, we have three columns, that is roll number, name, and age. That all three column data will be retrieved through star. Or if I want only the roll number, I can mention like this. Or if I want in the place of text, sorry, in the place of star. If I want to get the name, we use name. Okay, we want to get the age, we use age. We want all the data, so we use star from what is the table name, table we return. Okay, then after the mandatory statement is, we should fetch the data because this is the syntax within the backend. Okay, this all the syntax will be executed in the backend. But for the users, we should write the user language in Python. That is by using to get to all the data to use for loop. ఎందుకంటే పర్టికులర్ టేబుల్లో ఫ్రమ్ ద స్టార్టింగ్ రోల్ నెంబర్ టు ఎండింగ్ వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏస్ ఇట్ షుడ్ be become as a loop to print all the data. Okay. If you want to insert another record, you can same write like this again. And we should change here because it's the primary key. This does not accept null values. So another name can be same because we did not give as name. That we can give. And then we'll search table and fetch data. Fetch means to అంటే మనం యూజర్ నుంచి కోడ్ రాయాలనుకుంటే యూజర్ ద్వారా కోడ్ రాసి డేటాను తీసుకోవాలి బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ నుంచి అంటే ఫెచ్ డేటా చేయాలి సో యూజ్ ఫెచ్ దట్ ఈస్ ద సింటాక్స్ ఈస్ Directly we can write cursor that is cut dot fetch all. Is the syntax. And now, as I told, to iterate through all the table, go for row in cut dot fetch all. See now I will explain how what is the use of fetch. Column print of row. It will print all the table data. This is the word database in Python, and I will explain the weight again. If the uh, for this statement fetch all, the entire this backend code will be stored here. So we use this fetch all, and see I will explain this loop for row in further fetch all. Initially, the row will be I will tell here iterations also. If you say multi-line comment, initially the row is equal to null. Okay, null. If you see that iteration, okay, for row per dot fetch all, the first record is this is 280 and Chaitanya is 20, and the row becomes updated with the values of row is equal to the values of 280, comma, Chaitanya side, comma, 20. Okay. So the output is represented in tuple. Okay, it will be given in tuple as the output. And then the second, and for the row is equal to second iteration, it will print the second inserted data. That is here class we will getting, and the roll number is 27. So this is the iteration by using for loop. The for loop is used to get the data from the backend. Okay. The యూజర్ బ్యాక్ end నుంచి డేటా తెచ్చుకోవాలి అంటే ఫర్ లూప్ యూజ్ చేయాలి. ఆ ఫర్ లూప్ ఎక్కడి వరకు రన్ అవ్వాలంటే ఫర్ డాట్ ఫెచ్ చేయాలి. అంటే ఫెచ్ చేయాలంటే అది బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ లోని డేటా అంతా తీసుకుంటుంది. ఆ బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ లోని డేటా అంతా రన్ అవ్వాలి అంటే ఫర్ లూప్ వాడాలి. దిస్ ఈస్ ద సింపుల్ లాజిక్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద basic thing in the database connectivity. So now let us see practically how to implement the database connectivity using Python SQLITE3. So first open the VS Code. If you do not have VS Code, go to the Chrome, and there we can find the VS Code installer for Windows. Okay, if you press like this, the first appearing link, this is the link. You click on it, you will get here, see different softwares. That is Windows, .db, .rpm, and .mac. These are iOS. So maximum of the people will be there for Windows. So you can download Windows, see your system. It is 64-bit, and click on it. This is the latest version of VS Code. You can install. After installing, you may see like this the interface. Okay. Now, as I told you that this is the code for database in Python. So I will explain each and every line. Import SQLite3. This is for importing that module to overcome the use of server. And next CONN is connection variable to use the entire syntax and entire this one. It is used to create a database. Within that, by using SQLite3, connect is the predefined method, as I told. So CONN holds SQLite3.connect example.db. And I also told you to create a cursor. The main use of cursor is to get data from backend. Okay. To get the data from the backend, we use cursor. Very important. Cursor is a predefined keyword. And now let us see what are the next procedures. And C1. C1 is the creation of the table. And we will use cursor at anywhere. Cursor execute is a predefined keyword to execute the particular table. See, basically, while we are creating the database is like rows and columns. When we are creating the database, make sure that అంటే ముందు టేబుల్ database ఉందో లేదో చెక్ చేయాలి. సో బై డిఫాల్ట్ we will write create table if not exists. ఓకే. బై డిఫాల్ట్ మనం టేబుల్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం. నేను టేబుల్ పేరు వచ్చేసరికి యూజర్స్ అని ఇచ్చుకున్నాను. అంటే యూజర్స్ ఎనీ టైమ్ యూ కెన్ గివ్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఏ కీవర్డ్. అండ్ టేబుల్ ఇఫ్ నాట్ అంటే టేబుల్ లేకపోతే అప్పుడు యూజర్స్ అనే టేబుల్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. యూజర్స్ అనే టేబుల్లో టేబుల్ అంటే మనకి రోస్ అండ్ కాలమ్స్ ఉంటాయి. సో ఫస్ట్ మనం కాలమ్స్ ఇచ్చుకుంటే దాని తర్వాత ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు రోస్ లో డేటా ఇస్తాం. సో కాలమ్స్ వచ్చేసరికి ఐడి అని తీసుకున్నాను. ఐడి ఇంటిజర్ డేటా టైప్, హైయర్ ఐ టోల్డ్ ఇంటిజర్ and text and RBAL for floating point. So ID is primary key I have given because unique ID will be there for each student. And name is text. Name is a string or a combination of string and numbers. So I have given text. And age is integer. Age means integer. Okay. For after this you have understood, I think. And next card dot execute. Now we will insert the values. Okay. After creating the table, that is users, we will insert into the table the values, the following values. Insert, the command is insert into users, the table name. We will write the column names within the braces and values. Values are here, we will give the values ls and see why did not give here ID means by default ID will be started. ID will be by default incremented because we have given primary key. The main use of primary key is by default, by defaultly it increments the value. Okay, if one is there for first one, it automatically increases to second one. Okay, why? Because it does not accept null and duplicates. Okay, బై దిస్ అంటే అదే ఎందుకు ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసుకుంటది అంటే సపోజ్ మనం ఫస్ట్ దానికి వన్ అని ఇచ్చుకుంటే సెకండ్ దానికి కూడా వన్ అని ఇచ్చే అవకాశం ఉంటుంది మనకి బై ఎనీ ఎనీ మిస్ గైడెన్స్ ఆర్ ఎనీ మిస్ ఎంటరింగ్. సో బై డిఫాల్ట్ ఇట్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్స్ టు టూ వితౌట్ ఎనీ ఎర్రర్స్. ఓకే, దిస్ ఇస్ ద యూజ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రైమరీ కీ. అండ్ నెక్స్ట్ I inserted two rows in the table. And as I told, after inserting, for further any data misguiding or data removing, we use commit. Okay, commit means for further, on further, we cannot change or modify the data. So we use the commit. And next, as I told, star, dot execute. For everything within the syntax, dot execute is important because by using the cursor only, we will execute the any command. Okay. Select star from users. Users is our table name. Star means to get all. That is ID in one column and name in one column and age in another column. Okay. This is the select star from users. In the place of stars, if we keep any column present in the table, we will get only that particular data. Star means every row. That is all the rows present in that particular table, we will get as the output. Okay. Please make a note that clear the star and the up to wait I will up to here it is a backend. Okay, up to here it is a backend. Now it is easy to learn here. That is this mainly we will do use this for uh, to get the data by any user from the backend. We use loops because table means many will be there. Okay. Many rows will be there. Up to n rows will be there. to access that n rows. Every single statement that is multiple times we can't write as print statement. So we will apply for loop. That loop will goes upon until the last value reaches. Okay. In single statement we can write and get the entire database. So this is the use of cut.fetchall. As I told cut.fetchall, I forgot to say. This is the use of for loop. Cut.fetchall means this cut.fetchall is stored all the table data. Okay, fetchall means fetching means taking the data from the particular database. Okay, by using the cursor. Cursor is most important. I will provide all the definitions within the notes. Don't worry. This is the fetchall uses. Okay. Now we will execute this. So if we run this code, see we get the output. It the 1, 2, 3. It is auto incremented up to 26 as we given the limit. So here, no need to add this one, no problem. We'll ignore it. Any calls no to write. We will get the output. See, output is in the form of tuples. Okay, this is the important question. How will you get the output in the database means tuples. Okay, because brackets are there. That's it. So this is the complete details about the database connectivity in Python using SQLite without any server. So I will give this code to you in the description. Don't worry. As an example, I will give. So by this, we have completed the database connectivity. Thank you. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe the channel.